It's kinda nice, but I kinda see it as a way that alliances are gonna be like, hey, we already tax you, how about we also take your moon ore and we keep it all for ourselves? I can see alliances doing that. Hey guys, it's me, I for one. Today CCP finally dropped the Nullsec changes, and for this it has to be said that Nullsec didn't have an update, at least a positive one, in years. And we really don't want to talk about the updates that they did before because they have been kinda bad. And maybe this is finally the one good Nullsec update. The one good update that Nullsec needs to finally be a properly interesting area of space again. The update is just around the corner, coming on June 11, just a month from now, and now we know a few details, but mainly a lot of rough info on what is coming, and I'm going to go through those with you and give you my opinion about them at the end. But as we go through them, I have a challenge for you. Make sure to choose your favorite change from all of them, and your favorite feature, and type that one in the comments and what you think about it, your opinion, because your opinion matters as well. And out of all of those, I will pick 2 winners to win a Scope Syndication skin for the Gila. So remember to do that, and let's get right into it. But playing EVE alone sucks. So if you want to take part in an awesome community, fly fun ships, make some dank ISK, and have genuinely a good time with constantly people around you to hang out with. So come and join Suspect today and fight under the banner of our great supreme leader, me. So come and join our Discord today. Anyway, on with the video. Let's start off with maybe the best feature out of all of them, and the one that universally can be considered good about this update. Skinner. Just like you can design your own structure skin, using this tool you'll be able to design your own ship skin. And apparently on top of all of this, also trade them with other players. This is obviously a big deal as it multiplies the available skins for each ship by so much. Because you can make your own ones now and color them however you want, turning the current skins more into a template to make new skins with. When it comes to Nullsec itself, we will have additional PI, or at least an additional station to do PI with, and that one will generate specifically power, workforce and reagents. And those reagents seem to be kinda the deal that you need to keep all of those new structures running. And the question is, will they replace PI? Will it be the new PI? Will it be in addition to the old PI? Well, we don't know because it isn't described yet. We don't know what reagents are, but there will be new hauling ships focused on exactly those. But we will get into those a bit later into the video. But this new PI is kinda interesting, but we don't really know what they do yet. It's focused on new resources, and that is obviously a thing here, but we don't know if they are now in addition to PI or something completely else. Or a PI rework, because a PI rework would be pretty nice, but we just don't know. After those new haulers and the new PI, we will also have passive moon mining, which will be in addition to normal moon mining. So when you have a moon, you, or more specifically not you, but your corporation or your alliance, depending on whoever owns the station that can be placed next to the moon, will be able to buy a new moon mining station, which is fully automized, meaning you don't have to mine the ore anymore, or, well, more specifically, don't get to mine the ore anymore. This one is kinda a complicated one for me, honestly. Because let's face it, if you don't get to mine the ore, your alliance is getting it, or your corporation, or most likely your alliance, and that means the money is going into basically one person's pocket and not yours. The question is, will this be used to really help you, or will this be used to just, well, make more ISK for one person? Who knows? No one knows. We don't know how much a station will cost, but it is for sure quite a big change, and it will make moons a bit more interesting to fight over. But is it really good for you, the player, aka one person who just wants to go mining on moons? I don't know, but it for sure means that anomalies will be the new mining standard and not so much moons. But you know how you actually get new anomalies and how you get new ore in space to actually mine? Well, there's going to be a new sovereignty hub which replaces the old iHub and the old TCU, hinting at a bigger complete change to sovereignty warfare. But there's nothing about it here, so we're not going to delve into my crazy theories here. And it lets you choose between new combat anomalies to hunt NPCs or new ore to go mining with. And it can either be that you can choose between those two, or that you can have both of those upgrades. It isn't specifically stated, but I would kind of assume it is you have to choose between one or the other top upgrade, but it's not specified, so who knows. But those new combat anomalies can potentially spawn officer spawns as well, and it is kind of addressing one of the issues that Nullsec has right now, that ore and combat anomalies are kind of not the best in Nullsec right now. And if those will be really lucrative enough, we will need to see that, but those new anomalies are clearly hinting at capital focused anomalies. And maybe that is hinting at larger attack carrier and super carrier rework, because right now, carriers and super carriers are really not that good, at least compared to dreadnoughts. And those two are actually kind of the two big backbones when it comes to capital anomaly rating of the old time, so maybe that is going to happen as well, but we can only see that more in detail when it actually comes around. And like I said, there will be reagents coming from those stations, and those reagents will come with new hauling ships that are entirely focused on hauling just those one types of materials. And there's 4 of them. I don't know how excited I am about hauling ships, but they are the new ships apparently in this update. And those 4 in the update are the Squall, which will be your entry tier 1 hauler. The Deluge, your blockade runner cloaky hauler with small cargo space most likely. The Torrent, a deep space transport hauler with large cargo space. And a freighter, which will be the biggest out of all of them, the Avalanche. We don't really have details on those haulers just yet, but like I said, all of those details will be released a bit later. And when it comes to the last changes, I'm kinda going to go quickly through them, because I think for the most people they aren't as interesting. There's going to be an overhaul to the cooperation window, and also some new player enhancements when it comes to the air program, where you can just do some tasks and get skill points via them, as well as other rewards. That is kinda nice, but we already have them. It's basically just an extension of what we already have, and I think it's less interesting to talk about, especially without seeing that much. But it mainly just means you do a few more tasks in a menu and you get some more skill points. The last point is EVE Vanguard, where the next EVE Vanguard event will take part in June, and it will be apparently intertwined with this EVE update. What it means? Not sure yet, but maybe you can be a saboteur and sabotage EVE's off, or something of the likes. Like, who knows, maybe you can as a Pandemic Horde member attack a mining station of Goonswarm and vice versa. But once again, we will only see that in the future, but very soon future. But let's get to the elephant in the room, and if you watched my stream, or if you just listened to what I said so far, you might notice when it comes to those changes to Nullsec, I'm honestly not sure about it yet. Some of them seem very good, like the new combat anomalies and ore sites. However, passive moon mining and passive PI isn't really fixing the underlying core issues of Nullsec. Stagnation in the regards to what groups actually live in Nullsec, and that ISK income is really not the best. Living in Nullsec is, well, about living in Nullsec, and for that you need to be able to make ISK down there, just like you can do it in such a crazy amount in wormhole space, and nowadays in Lowsec space as well. Lowsec had a massive, good, positive update last year, 2 of them in fact, and it makes me hope that the same will go for Nullsec this year as well. Because this new management minigame with the skyhook structures seems to be hinting at being a way to make holding a lot of space more tedious and complicated, with the new resources required to run those stations to actually make that passive ISK. If that is the case, that is great. If that means more groups will move into Nullsec, more people will move into Nullsec, that is amazing. Maybe this new iHub is easier to take if you don't properly care for your space, but only time will be able to tell. But as I see it right here, there's only 2 options on how this update can turn out. Either we will have one of the greatest updates ever, with big changes, brave changes that will shake up Nullsec quite a bit and make more people go into Nullsec and try to take space and do their own thing, making it very exciting, very fun, and quite honestly overhauling the space to be quite a bit better than this right now. Or there's a second option as well. Maybe it will not be really a shakeup. Maybe it will just be the big alliances now having a way to make even more ISK for themselves without having to go through the members themselves, and just being able to make more ISK and put those ISK essentially into the pocket of like 5 people. With new combat sites and some new ore anomalies just being sprinkled on top of it. Not really changing that much for the average player. Sure, alliances need more ISK, but it doesn't mean that it has to be the alliances that exist right now. Because right now we only have 2 big coalitions in the game, and it would kinda be nice to see a shake-up to that. After all, the theme of the patch seems to be empire building, and the question here is, for who? Because if it isn't a big shake-up, the whole target audience of this patch might legitimately just be 5 people. There is no details yet, so only time will be able to tell, but tell me what you think in the comments, and this is everything from me. So if you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and check out my Patreon if you want to support me financially, or click on the video highlighted right here. Maybe you will enjoy this one too, if you want to find out how to make big ISK in Nullsec right now. But see you next time.